It's been a heck of a week in the tropical Atlantic. Good evening, I'm Mike Naso with this 11 p.m. update on this Saturday night on the tropics. You can see the Atlantic satellite imagery a week ago as we came on August 29th. A very, very dangerous hurricane, Hurricane Ida, was strengthening into a Category 3 hurricane in the Gulf, and you can see, obviously, we know what happened. Became a high-end Category 4, made landfall in southeastern Louisiana, devastating the region, and then it moved up over areas of the Tennessee and Ohio River valleys and moved right there over New England, dumping flooding, devastating rains, killing many people with devastating floods. And then we had a new tropical storm develop off the coast of Africa, and that became Tropical Storm Larry, and then Hurricane Larry, a beautiful Category 3 major hurricane, sitting now 1 week after the start of that loop, right in the middle of the Atlantic. Here's the latest on Hurricane Larry as of 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. It was at 18.0 north, 48.0 west. Winds 120, had been up to 125. It's been a Category 3 hurricane all day, a major hurricane, the third after Grace and Ida, and it's moving west-northwest at 14. You can see it's expected to continue northwest around a ridge of high pressure and then turn to the north by Wednesday night. And Bermuda, you are on the left edge of this cone, although it's starting to look better for you. I'll tell you why in a minute. Nevertheless, high swells will propagate to the Lesser Antilles, Bermuda, the Bahamas, and the eastern seaboard of the United States as the hurricane passes. Here's the computer model guidance. Bermuda, you are right in here, that green circle I just drew, and most of the computer models want to take it to your east. Now, that's very, very good news because that would mean, number one, it misses you, and number two, you'd be on the weaker side of the hurricane. However, we don't want it to get too close because it's expected to be a large and powerful donut of a major hurricane. There's the satellite imagery, very creepy-looking water vapor image. This thing's getting almost an annular characteristic. Remember Hurricane, what was it? Was it Hurricane Linda in the eastern Pacific? It's been, with Ida, my mind's all erased. We had a hurricane a couple of months ago in the eastern Pacific, and it had a big fat tire look to it, a big donut, and that allows it to maintain major hurricane intensity for days on end. We might be seeing Larry do that for the next couple of days, remain a very large, ragged, but powerful major hurricane out there in the middle of the Atlantic. Now, what that means is, number one, large swells generated are expected to reach the Lesser Antilles Sunday, and the Greater Antilles, the Bahamas, and Bermuda Monday and Tuesday, and significant swells for the east coast of the U.S. and Atlantic Canada around midweek. That could cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions, and beachgoers need to be urged to follow the advice of lifeguards and local officials. It could be very, very dangerous in a place like the Carolinas, even though this hurricane will be hundreds upon hundreds of miles away because of that large and dangerous potential wind field pushing out high swells. Number two, Larry is forecast to approach Bermuda during the next several days, possibly as a major hurricane, bringing a risk of strong winds, heavy rain, and coastal flooding by the middle of next week. It is too soon to determine the magnitude of those hazards and impacts, but Bermuda interests need to watch this forecast very, very carefully. So keep an eye on Larry because it's a very dangerous major hurricane, Category 3, expected to take a long time to get out towards Bermuda. But hopefully it turns like that, and that will be a prolific, long-tracked, but peaceful hurricane, especially after what we went through with Ida, and even with Grace down in Mexico. Don't forget, Grace was a major hurricane down there in Mexico. Now, you see this yellow area on the map from the National Hurricane Center. This is Invest 91L. We go from 90 to 99. L stands for Atlantic, and we alternate 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Ida was 99, and Larry was 90. This is 91L, and it's an area of interest, a disturbed weather area. I'm looking there, and I'm not seeing anything necessarily worrisome yet. I do see some spinning right in here over the Yucatan, a lot of high wind shear over the top of it, but look at these thunderstorms over areas of Guatemala. Guatemala, this is lightning. These little white dots are all lightning. Look at this blob over Guatemala. Heavy rain and thunderstorms right now. So it's a very hot, muggy, tropical atmosphere down here, and we are concerned that this might move over the Gulf of Mexico, and with it being the approaching time of hurricane season being the peak, we could see development. Now, the general thinking is that there could be a front moving down, cooling things off, and dragging whatever happens off to the east. Now, I don't want to wish it on Florida, any wet weather, but I'll tell you this, they don't need it in Louisiana. They just got hit by a Category 4 hurricane. Now, here's the ensemble models, and you can see they take Larry up and out. Almost all of them. Look at Bermuda, so close, and it just misses you. So hopefully it'll miss you guys. But as far as our system in the Gulf, there's some indication of lower pressures down here. Some want to make a hurricane hit Texas. Others want a tropical depression to hit the Panhandle. The bottom line is just keep an eye on the Gulf the next few days. And then after Larry is gone, we'll have to watch Africa. Remember, this loop ends here on September 14th. And hurricanes can be moving off Africa all the way into October. So we're going to watch that very, very carefully. Here's a map of the United States showing the power outages. They've restored power a lot to New England. California is always out. But look at Louisiana, still suffering here. Our friends down there. And southeastern Louisiana especially is the area that really got slammed. You can see areas St. John the Baptist, St. Charles, Lafourche, Terrebonne, and St. James, all very, very heavy power outages. This goes all the way up into areas further north, and New Orleans County, you're talking 128,000 people without power. So very bad news all around. So we'll continue to watch the recovery down there in Louisiana. Stay strong. There's a lot of people still without power, still without homes. It might not have destroyed and wiped off the city of downtown New Orleans off the map, but for areas like Port Fourchon, Grand Isle, Houma, Laplace, devastated, big time. So that's a look at the tropics tonight as we watch our big fat donut Larry in the middle of the Atlantic, a powerful major hurricane moving west-northwest, expected to be very near Bermuda by midweek. I'm Mike Naso, and I'll talk to you guys next time.